Hi everyone, SpiderMan 1991 here to do my reviews for the final week of August. I was actually able to get my comics today and find the time to do the review so I wouldn't have to worry about it later in the week. Okay, let's get started with Invincible number 82. Okay, what happens is that this alien that Invincible fought issues ago, I'm not sure what number it was, but all I remember was it was before the Viltrumite War, and I don't know, before all that, it's kind of a blur for me. But anyways, Invincible fought this alien, and she was trying to steal power so that she could help her plan, but she was hurting and killing people along the way to get it, so Invincible took her down and then had her arrested. So now basically Invincible goes and meets with her while she's in jail, and they come to an agreement. He'll pull some strings and try to give her some of Earth's power so that she can take it to help her world, but in exchange, she can't hurt anyone or promise not to harm the planet again. And also while Invincible's dealing with this, his sort of colleague, Cecil, who works for the Pentagon, has also met with another ally of Invincible, Robot, to build like some sort have him be in charge of like keeping all the heroes together, like all the different teams and all solo heroes together, so that they can sort of keep them all under one number in case they ever have a crisis like the Viltrumite War again. And anyways, while Invincible is able to talk to Cecil about giving this alien the power, some energy so that she could save her planet, Cecil agrees because they figured, hey, they were just going to lock her up forever. I mean, what would that accomplish? So they let her keep the power, and she leaves Earth in peace. And then Mark goes to talk to Cecil, and Cecil asks him, even though if they've had their differences, if Cecil could call on him, would Mark be able to show up? And Mark says, yeah, sure, he'll help Cecil if he has to. But then Cecil says that there are a few things he hasn't told Mark. And, oh, by the way, Mark is Invincible's real name. But anyways, he reveals to Mark that he's had Reanimen, which are basically reanimated corpses of living beings brought back to life as soldiers. And he reveals to Mark that he used the technology on alternate versions of Mark and fallen Viltrumites from the war and stuff. And that's kind of where the issue leaves off. It has been a while. It feels like it takes forever for Invincible to come out, which is one of the reasons I don't like waiting for the monthlies for Invincible, but I did enjoy this issue where Mark's just able to talk to one of his former foes, I guess, and just kind of like work out an understanding instead of just pounding it and realizing that sometimes locking them up forever there really is no point, and that they should just kind of get to an understanding. I thought it was very interesting and definitely worth it. Yeah. Okay, next up. Amazing Spider-Man, Spider Island Part 2. Okay, I have loved Spider Island. I'm loving Spider Island so far. Now, since once the Avengers realize that they did hit the real Spider-Man, they tell him to stand down and not be here because basically they just don't want to accidentally hurt Spider-Man while he's in a fight. So he changes back into Peter Parker, and he runs to MJ, and MJ's asking, like, why aren't you helping people? And Peter just says, yeah, I have spider powers, but there's like nothing I can do, and the Avengers might pound me. And so basically she points out that Carly, Peter's girlfriend, has spider powers, but she's helping other people, and that seeing Carly inspires Peter. So he pretty much says, yay, I'm Peter Parker, I have spider powers, and every other New Yorker that has these powers should just get off their butts and help fight the good fight and take down all the Spider-Man posers, which they're able to do. So Peter pretty much leaves an entire team of spider-powered New Yorkers. And they're able to take down all the imposter Spider-Men, along with Mayor Jameson's anti-Spider-Man squad. And once the fight is over, Mayor Jameson declares that the whole island of Manhattan is under quarantine, and that He wants a cure found for every spider victim now. And Peter and Carly are pretty much enjoying themselves since they both have spider powers. And Peter's really happy now because he doesn't have to wear a mask and stuff since he has spider powers. Since everyone else has spider powers, he can just go like, oh, hey, I got the spider powers too, yay. And when he goes to Horizon, he finds out that Mr. Fantastic is working with Max Modal, Peter's boss, to help find a cure for the whole Spider-Man epidemic. And then Peter gets a call from Carly to help pretty much reverse engineer some of the confiscated equipment from Spider-Man's old foes to help the anti-Spider-Man squad. And Carly points out to Peter that the Jackal could be behind this, and at that moment Peter just goes, "Go!" and realizes that it's been all under his nose the entire time, that the Jackal's behind this. So Carly and Peter head out to take care of the Jackal, to try to figure out where the Jackal is. And also Peter made Carly some new web shooters for herself, which is very nice. And it just ends with Peter and Carly arriving at one of Miles Warren, the Jackal's abandoned lab, so that they could take a good look at it. Okay, well, another good issue. I'd say that this issue of Spider Island was pretty good, especially with Peter deciding, okay, I need to help people, but I can't wear my costume. Hey, I'm Peter Parker, I have spider powers, so it's kind of interesting to know that now Peter doesn't have to wear a mask at this moment and still save people, which is a very interesting take, that it's not Spider-Man, it's Peter Parker saving lives. And I am really liking the way this story is. I mean, with each piece, I really look forward to the next one. I want to know more about it. It's just a really amazing Spider-Man story. If you haven't read Spider-Man in a while, then you should definitely get this because it is amazing. But first, I'd say go back and get 667. Actually, get 666 because that's the prequel. Then get part 1. Then this, because it is amazing and it will not disappoint. I really love Spider Island. Okay, moving right along. Now it's time for DC. Only 2 DC comics came out this week. First of all, the end to the DC Universe. Flashpoint number 5. Alright. Warning, there are spoiler alerts. If you don't want to be spoiled, please stop the video, close out your browser, turn off your computer, go to your local comic shop, but you should probably... Actually, if you don't know where your local comic shop is, don't turn off your computer yet. Look it up on Google Maps or something. And then turn off your computer, go to your comic shop, buy this, then come back, buy this as well as the other DC comic that came out this week, and then come back here and watch this. Well, actually, read it, then watch it, okay? Alright. Spoiler in 3, 2, 1, go. Professor Zoom meets with Barry on where the huge fight between the Amazons and the Atlanteans is occurring, and Zoom reveals to Barry that he didn't cause the change in history. Barry did, because back on his mother's birthday, Barry went back in time and tried to change history by stopping Zoom from killing his mother. But when he tried to, that was the moment that changed history, causing Bruce Wayne to get shot by Joe Chill, Superman getting taken in by the government when he landed on Earth, and the huge splinter between the Atlanteans and the Amazons, and that was all Barry's fault. And of course, Zoom is pretty much mocking Barry and telling him that now, since Zoom was in the time stream when that happened, he's now a free point in time, that he can do anything he wants and pretty much go back and kill Barry. But while Zoom's pretty much bragging and getting ready to kill Barry, Thomas Wayne shows up and stabs Zoom right in the heart from behind and kills him. But celebrations aren't in order, because now all of a sudden things start to go to hell, and Thomas tells Barry that he needs to change this immediately. He needs to go back and get the universe back in order, because it will definitely be for the best. And he gives Barry a note that he wants Bruce to read once things get back to normal. And of course, Barry's still nervous, so before he goes into the time stream, he meets with his mom one last time, and he tells her everything. and she encourages Barry to go back and do the right thing and let her die, because it's not worth it if lots of lives have been lost in the whole Amazon Atlantean war. It's not worth it, and he needs to go back and change it. So Barry goes into the time stream, meets his other past self right before he was going to stop Zoom, and that causes another ripple in time. And well, okay, I can't show you it, but that image, when Barry does meet his sort of merge with his past self or whatever, it causes some entity appears before Barry and tells him that there have been 3 times. Well, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna open. Okay, well, all right, going and okay, here it is. This is the bridge between the timelines. Basically, what happens now is this person tells Barry that there have been 3 separate timelines. Obviously, we've got the comics from Wildstorm, Vertigo, or at least Vertigo with Swamp Thing, and I think that's Animal Man, and of course the regular DC universe. All these things, for a while, the DC universe was divided into 3 separate timelines, and now basically what Barry has to do is pretty much change it and must allow all 3 to come together so that they can merge into the new DC universe. And of course, this entity mentions that it cannot come without price, but Barry still does it. He merges the timelines, and that's how we get the new DC universe. And then the conclusion, Barry wakes up in his... And it's basically what happens in the first issue. Barry wakes up in his lab, but everything's back to normal. Well, as normal as things get. And Barry goes and he meets Batman, don't worry, it's Bruce Wayne, and he gives Bruce the letter from his father. But before that, Barry mentioned that he still remembers all the times he spent with his mother in the other timeline. So that's kind of like a little gift he got. And then Bruce gets the letter from his dad, from Barry, and when Bruce reads it, and in the end he tells Barry thank you, and that's where it ends. All right, the end of Flashpoint. This is definitely a great ending. I really love, especially the dialogue between Barry and his mom, and then at the end with Barry, when Barry gives Bruce the letter. It's very moving and very touching. It's just amazing. And also the scene where Thomas Wayne killed Professor Zoom. That was awesome! Can't show that, but it was very good. Flashpoint had a great ending. I mean, this story is really probably going to take a lot of crap at it because it was the end to the DC universe, but it had I think it has a great ending, and as far as the entire story goes, I liked it, okay? I think that Flashpoint was a good story, and this ending that closed it all together, especially all the things when Barry sees his mom one last time, and then Bruce reads the letter from his dad. I mean, you don't really get a good view what the letter says, but you can imagine that Thomas pretty much wanted to give his son a few final words, and that's just really amazing what happened. I mean, I liked Flashpoint. I mean, this was a great ending. Truly amazing. If you haven't been reading Flashpoint, then I would recommend just getting the trade. Once they release a collected edition of the Flashpoint miniseries, then just get it because it is awesome. Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Justice League #1. The entire DC, all the characters of the DC universe that you've loved, and whose history you've learned, whose journeys you've walked through for the past 20 years. It's all over. It begins again. All right, Justice League #1. This story takes place 5 years ago. This is pretty much telling you how the league sort of came together and united for their common goal and stuff. How the heroes met, and also how the heroes met for the first time, and how they all sort of banded together to defeat their foe. Okay, for the first issue, Batman, we open up in Gotham City. Batman's chasing some sort of lizard creature, and while Batman's chasing him, Gotham PD is trying to trace down Batman, because this is at this moment, all superheroes are just stepping into the public light. I mean, yeah, Batman has been operating for years underground and stuff. It's kind of like an urban myth, but my guess is recently he sort of got caught in the public eye. Now Gotham PD is trying to bring him down, so back to the story. Batman's chasing this lizard thing, but then Green Lantern shows up saying that he's also here to help and catch the creature because he's in charge of protecting the entire space sector. And you can see, and there is some tension between Batman and Green Lantern at the beginning, and they pretty much follow the lizard creature into the sewers, and it's there planting some sort of bomb, and notices Batman and Green Lantern, they sort of commit suicide and tries to blow itself up to take out Batman and Green Lantern, but fortunately Green Lantern's able to save them both from the blast, and they're able to get the bomb out. And of course, when they notice it's alien, Batman thinks it's connected to Superman. So Batman and Green Lantern go to Metropolis to meet Superman, and when Green Lantern first walks in, where apparently Superman had some sort of fight, Superman pretty much knocks Green Lantern out of the building, and that's where it sort of ends. Oh, also, there is Vic Stone, Cyborg, pre-Cyborg, does make an appearance in this. Apparently Vic is younger now, because he might be in high school or something, because he's on the football team, he's a big football star, but it's pretty much similar to the way he was in the regular DC, pre-DC, old DC universe, right at the beginning of the new Teen Titans series. He was a star athlete who's had kind of a bad relationship with his dad, and that's pretty much it so far of what we know about Vic Stone. But apparently there may be an accident that will lead him to become Cyborg. That's all we know. But this issue was, I gotta say, it was pretty good. I mean, not super special awesome like DC was pretty much pulling out with the media, but it is a nice little introduction to the DC universe. It's taking place 5 years in the past, though, so this is just when superheroes are starting to get noticed by everyone. And Superman only appears at the last few pages, though. I mean, and also, obviously, probably because you thought Green Lantern may be another villain or something. Anyways, but the main stars of this issue, though, are Batman and Green Lantern, and it's funny to see these two meet for the first time, because while they're chasing the lizard creature, Green Lantern pretty much asks Batman, like, what are your powers? Can you fly? And Batman says no. And Green Lantern's like, wait, are you kidding me? You're just a guy in a bat suit? And then Batman just, like, responds by taking his ring away. I mean, really, Batman took Green Lantern's Hal Jordan's ring away without him looking. He's just like, yeah, what does this thing do? Oh, wait, you can't take my ring! It's really fun. Sorry, but that's, like, one of my favorite scenes in this issue where they're sort of talking to each other and stuff. I mean, I gotta hand to Jeff Johns. He really sort of knows how to make these two supposed to be allies, but kind of at odds with each other. Justice League #1, it's pretty great first issue, though. It does leave you wanting more. You do want to know how the League found it together and pretty much what happened that bring them all together, though. Oh, by the way, the lizard creature that Batman and Green Lantern were chasing down, right before it offed itself, it said, for the glory of Darkseid. So, obviously, Darkseid may be the main villain of this. Not sure, though, but... Alright, so Justice League #1 is pretty much how Batman met Green Lantern. I can't wait to read the rest of this series, though, because it sounds like when all the heroes meet for the first time, it's going to be pretty interesting, just to hear what they all have to think about each other from what they know, but it should be good. I mean, Jeff Johns is one of my favorite writers, and he usually does good stuff. So, yeah. That's the end of my review. Justice League #1. Basically how Batman met Green Lantern, and a little bit of an introduction to Victor Stone. I would say get it if you want to, see how the heroes met for the first time in the new DC universe. Flashpoint #5. Great ending. If you have been reading this miniseries, you will not be disappointed by the ending. It is awesome. And Amazing Spider-Man number 668. Spider Island is definitely progressing very well. I cannot wait for the next part. Very great story. And Invincible number 82. Mark is starting to realize that there's other ways of fighting, other ways of sort of resolving issues with aliens other than just beating them up and locking them up. He's starting to think that maybe he doesn't need to wear the mask just to make a difference. Alright, and Comic of the Week, though, I'm definitely going to have to say is Justice League number 1, because I really liked it. It was pretty great. It was pretty great seeing Batman meet Green Lantern. Alright, and that is all I have to say for this week. SpiderMan 1991 saying, see you later.